Hello everyone, I'm in this rather cramped utility room today because I'm going to give this Miele washer dryer a bit of a spruce up. All the tips I'm going to show you in this video could apply to most automatic washing machines, not just a Miele. Anyway, I'm going to give the drawer a clean out, I'm going to run a maintenance wash, and for the first time ever I'm going to open up the pump filter at the bottom of the machine and see how dirty it is. This machine was second-hand when it was obtained. I'm not sure if it was cleaned out before we bought it, but I definitely haven't opened this, and my mum certainly hasn't. This belongs to my mum. She's never opened it, so she's asked me to have a look at it. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to open the pump filter and we'll see how gunky it is. Hidden behind the detergent dispenser drawer, there's a little tool that helps us get access to the pump filter. So I need to open up the drawer, which will have a good clean out in the course of this video. Just here is the orange plastic tool that I need to open the filter door. So we just need to release it from its storage spot. And then we use this to open up the metal door to obtain access to the pump filter. With the narrow end of the tool, you simply insert it into the top of the filter door and lever it open. So now we've access to the filter, which we need to undo, but water will pour out of this when you do this, so you need to get a shallow tray underneath or lots of towels to catch any residual water. Before I open the filter, I'm going to point out what this little orange tab does. Now this is used to open the door in the event of a breakdown or a power failure and you need to get your washing out of the machine. The first thing you need to do, of course, is to open up the filter cover, let any water drain out, and then you can open the door. And all you do is simply pull on this tab and the door opens. You need a large shallow tray or bowl to catch the water, but I don't have one handy. I've got a washing up bowl, so hopefully I'll be able to angle it in such a way as to catch most of the water that comes out when we untwist the filter cover. This particular filter cover turns anti-clockwise to loosen it. Oh, there's quite a lot of water coming out. I've managed to catch most of it. There's also some bits. Fortunately, the little door is acting as a little sort of receptacle. Oh, it smells. It smells, folks. Oh, that's not very pleasant. Right, well, that's not horrific. You can see that's gunk caused by detergents and fabric softener. So all I have to do with that, I can take that to the sink, hot soapy water, an old scrubbing brush, and get that nice and clean. But it will also be a bit gunky actually inside here. I'm going to clean the filter housing using some spray bleach and an assortment of brushes and sponges. This is an old bottle brush I've found. Old used toothbrushes are ideal for this sort of job. I've also got a sponge. So first thing to do, just spray the bleach. There's still some water in there that's coming out. Just spray it all round. Then you can use your toothbrush. There's still a bit more water coming out and now it's mixed with bleach, so you might want to protect the floor with some old cloths. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm just using the toothbrush. I think that's going to be the best thing to use. I'll put the bottle brush in as well. We can just rotate it around. That's ideal actually. Don't poke too vigorously. You don't want to damage anything in there. All we're doing is removing the gunk, detergent residue, fabric softener residue. The water has turned very grey. There is a little impeller at the back that rotates. You don't want to damage that. Just give it a good clean out. I can use my sponge, mop up some of the excess water. In fact, it's probably best if there's water in there, just get rid of that first before spraying in the bleach. Should have got my washing up bowl handy. So just generally give it a good clean around. Wear rubber gloves if you're sensitive to cleaning chemicals. That's all very clean now. I'm just going to give it another squirt for good measure. I'll just leave that to soak for a few minutes and then just dry it out with some old kitchen towels or some old tea towels, whatever. I'm just going to leave the filter housing like this while I go and clean the filter. Don't worry about any bleach residue left in the machine because it's all going to be rinsed through when I perform a maintenance wash. I'm just wiping off all the black gunk with the sponge. You can use the old toothbrush just to get into any bits you can't reach with a sponge. You could use a mild bleach solution on this as well, but make sure that's rinsed off, especially if there are rubber seals, such as the seals on this filter. You can see there's gunk coming out from underneath these seals with a toothbrush. As I said, it's an ideal tool for this sort of work. Make sure it's an old toothbrush, of course. Don't get your husband's or wife's toothbrush and clean it, but you can see with this particular one, this does come apart, revealing a little bit more gunk. All washing machines vary, of course, and if you're wanting to do a maintenance program or wonder how to open up certain parts of your washing machine and you've lost your instruction book, as long as you've got the model number for your washing machine, you can often search Google and it will come up with a PDF of the instruction book you need. Most people just lose the instruction books, and especially if you're living in rented accommodation or you've inherited a washing machine, normally you won't have the instruction book. But thanks to the internet, mostly, if it's a fairly modern machine from at least 10 years ago, you should be able to find an online instruction book. So we've got this pretty clean. Let's give it a rinse off. And there's the other part there. Certainly a lot better than it was. Just make sure we clip it back together. That's fine. I don't have to dry it because this is now going to go back into the washing machine, tightened up, and then I'm going to tackle the residue in the soap dispenser drawer. In goes the pump filter, clockwise to tighten. There we go. Now we can close the door. Give it a bit of a wipe, and that's that job done. Now it's onto the dispenser drawer. With this particular model, I have to press down on a little catch at the back and then the whole drawer comes out. So we'll tackle that in the sink. You can see that the inside of this drawer is covered in black gunk, and this is where the water enters the machine, passes through the detergent drawer into the drum and onto your clothes. So it makes sense to give this a clean from time to time, and obviously this hasn't been cleaned for a while. So again, I'm going to use the spray bleach, give it a good spray, let it soak for a bit, and then use the bottle brush and toothbrush and give it a good scrub. While I leave that to soak, I'm going to tackle the detergent drawer. This drawer isn't too bad. I've seen far worse, but there is some black gunk on it and fabric softener residue, etc. Any inserts that can be removed, just take them out. So for example, this one, we've got an insert to use liquid detergent. This is the fabric softener area. I think that this comes out here on this particular one. That flap comes out. So now we've got better access. So again, we can use the spray bleach. Give it a good squirt around. Turn it over, of course. Watch your clothes, of course, when you're using spray bleach. Try not to get it on your favourite t-shirt. And then, again, you can leave that to soak for a bit. And then just using an old sponge, an old brush, whatever you need to use, you can help clean out the detergent drawer. If it's very dirty, again, leave it to soak a bit longer. This one, as I said, isn't too bad. I think I have done this recently, well, a few months ago anyway. But it pays, folks, to keep your appliances clean because they're not cheap these days, and repairs aren't cheap either. I'm not going to say that keeping your appliances well maintained is going to stop them breaking down, because sometimes that's beyond our control, but it doesn't do them any harm. Just spend some time and just clean out your appliances. And the same, you know, with dishwashers, make sure that the filter at the bottom of your dishwasher is kept clean as well. The seals around the dishwasher door, they always get gunked up. Clean those. And for you know, things that are washing your clothes and washing your dishes, you really want them clean. Most people think they clean themselves, but obviously, as you can see, they don't. The drum in a washing machine and the cavity in a dishwasher often looks lovely and clean, but there's many areas where gunk can build up, germs can build up as well. Wondering if this front comes off on this model. Sometimes they do. I'm not sure if I can get it off. And I don't know if I'm going to get this pristine, because some of these marks don't want to shift, but at least I know when I put this back in to the washing machine, it is going to be cleaner. Especially down here, I've got a lot of gunk. Going to need that toothbrush. And there's many little brushes you can buy from hardware stores and online. You see there's a tiny hole there. Those tiny brushes you can get to clean out straws. You know, the metal or glass straws you can now buy. They often come with a little brush. That would be ideal for that hole there. This particular model has a cover over the fabric softener siphon, so that comes off. And this is another area that you need to clean again with a tiny bottle brush. If you've got one, small toothbrush might fit in there. You can see this black gunk in there. And this hole here is where it actually takes the fabric softener into the machine. It adds the water and of course it dilutes the softener, and then it goes through the siphon down here and through that hole. So if that's blocked, you'll find it's not putting in your fabric softener. So again, one of those tiny brushes to clean out reusable straws is ideal for that. If you haven't got one, you could poke that through with cotton buds. Anything blunt that will fit through and you won't lose it in there, just poke it through, dislodge anything that might be inside there. And then next time you use your machine, you'll find, hopefully, that your fabric softener flows freely into the wash. That is clear. I don't know if I can show you. But that's the first thing to look for. If you find there's still fabric softener left in the dispenser after the wash is finished, it's probably because your siphon is blocked, which does happen quite frequently, especially with some gloopy fabric softeners. This is going to take a few more minutes to clean up, so I'll continue this, and then we need to go back to the machine and give the actual area where this drawer sits, we need to make sure that that's clean. We'll need to use a brush on that and get rid of all that horrible smelly black gunk. I need to go in with the bottle brush for this because I can't reach right in there. And of course, if you spray bleach down here, you might want to have rubber gloves on. And it might be an idea to take off your expensive watch as well, which I'm going to do. Put that somewhere out the way. And you'll find the top, the jets at the top where the water comes through. That can be the most awkward thing to clean. It's dislodging a lot of it, but I think this is a job that's going to take me a while. So I'll continue cleaning with the camera turned off, and I'll show you how clean it's got after I've actually finished the job.